All right, welcome back to Research Debrief, which bridges the gap between the fitness industry and the latest science. Luke, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Good to see you, Rachel.
Great to see you. What is the topic of discussion?
Yeah, this is a wonderful new paper published in the Lancet, and so that's a scientific journal. And the title of the paper is called Minimal Combined Sleep, Physical Activity, and Nutrition Variations Associated with Lifespan and Health Span Improvements, a Population Cohort Study. So the premise of this is, we're all interested in this topic of longevity. And so what they looked at is if you improve sleep, if you improve your physical activity or get more physical activity, and you make some nutrition changes, how does this impact lifespan and health span? I think this is the topic that we're all very interested in, and you're going to find out, or we're going to find out, that the outcomes of this paper are really, really palatable.
Awesome. Let's get into it.
Okay, so this is an 8-year follow-up. So they're studying subjects looking at death from cardiovascular disease, death from cancers, death from type 2 diabetes, COPD, dementia over the long haul. So they're looking at a massive cohort of people. And what they're trying to understand is if you improve your sleep, if you improve your physical activity, or if you improve your nutrition, what should we expect from a longevity standpoint, from a health span standpoint, and from a lifespan standpoint? And what we understand in the literature is that when we tell people to really focus on your exercise, really focus on your sleep, really focus on your nutrition, we don't do a good job of actually adhering to those recommendations. So one of the things the researchers said is, what if we combine all three of them? What if you just make small adjustments to all three? Rather than going all in on sleep or all in on exercise or all in on nutrition, generally, we're all kind of trying to do all of these things. What's the impact of doing all of these things in kind of smaller incremental, I don't want to say doses, but just incremental changes? So that's the focus of the paper. Here's the outcome of the paper. Now, again, I think this is relevant because in all of our clubs, this is the hot topic, longevity. People are interested in longevity. Published books, podcasts, YouTube, influencers talking about how do we live longer. And this paper provides so much clarity on what we can do. So here's the outcome, okay? And now there's two kind of incremental steps that we can take that produce meaningful change. If we, on average, increase our sleep 5 minutes per night, and we add 2 additional minutes of vigorous physical activity per day, and we increase our servings of vegetables by 2 servings per day, we can expect to add 1 year to our lifespan. So that's noteworthy. That's interesting. So now let's take it up a notch. Okay, and this is just the only other incremental change we have. If we want to have even better results, if we get 25 additional minutes of sleep per day, if we do 4 minutes of additional exercise per day, if we increase our veggies by 2 servings and we get 1 serving of whole grains and 2 servings of fish per week, we can enhance lifespan by 4 additional years. And so the take home to this is we probably shouldn't try to just do one of these. We should probably focus on all 3. But the incremental change that we need to make is very small for a really significant payoff. Now, here's what I think is really interesting, Rachel, and I'll let you interject. What I think is interesting is this is what we have these things available in our clubs. We have generally talked about this stuff for, the last 40, 50 years. I don't think we're talking about these things in our clubs now when we talk about longevity. From my perception, when we talk about longevity, we're talking about cold plunges, and we're talking about sauna, and we're talking about compression boots on our legs. And we look at all the longevity offerings that our clubs are offering, we're not talking about these 3 things. It is probably simpler than we understand. Now, this is the best medical literature that we have. This is published in what's called a high-impact medical journal. We get a teeny bit more sleep, we improve our nutrition just incrementally, and we add just 4 minutes of exercise per day, and we add 4 years to our lifespan. I think this is a really encouraging message.
Yes, definitely. I think the takeaway for me is the incremental is the key word here, because this doesn't require a complete overhaul for people. You don't have to completely overhaul your diet. You don't have to completely overhaul your exercise regimen. You just need to make these small incremental changes and you will increase your lifespan. So I think that's, yeah, like you said, just a very encouraging message for operators to be sharing with their members.
Yeah, and I'll give you the conclusion from our authors. It's exactly what you said, Rachel. This study demonstrates that small, concurrent improvements in sleep, physical activity, and diet quality are associated with clinically meaningful gains in lifespan and health span. And that is noteworthy by itself. It's incredibly important. This is a primary care physician that's reading this paper, and they're telling their patient, rather than try to exercise an hour a day, 5 days out of the week, why don't you think about increasing your exercise from whatever you're currently doing 4 more minutes, right? I want you to get fish twice a week. These are doable changes. And what the paper starts off with is generally our patients are not following the lifestyle intervention prescription that a primary care physician is providing. But what if we do them concurrently and they're smaller in nature? The change is smaller in nature. But what I think is noteworthy is this is for a physician. In our health clubs, I don't think we're pursuing these things. And this is a reminder to us is this is what actually moves the needle. It's maybe not some of the longevity things that we've connected with. And so what I'm always interested in is how does the health club industry, how can we continually earn the respect and collaboration from our medical community? This would be one of the ways. Make sure when we're talking about longevity, we're talking about things that are supported by the preponderance of scientific evidence.